Yeah, I think the teams have but looking internally for a long time and just thinking, why were we so flat when we came against North Carolina? So that was surprising because we hadn't seen that throughout the whole preseason. So, at the time, basically said it was, it's a 30-minute blip on the season so far that didn't define who we are. But really, it will be defined by how we react to that. So I felt that, with a couple of changes tonight, we reacted pretty well. Good intensity. We played with urgency. Towards the end of the first half, we started to slow things down a little bit too much, but I think it was a good reaction from the team, and an important one. Yeah. Wednesday matches? Yeah, it's been very, very difficult. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. I mean, I see Chicago tonight. Obviously, they rotated their team quite a bit. We were in the same position 2 weeks ago against Kansas City. We made 8 changes to our starting team because we had to prepare for a massive game in Washington. So, yeah, it's not great, especially so early in the season that we're playing 3 games a week. 2 weeks into the season, so puts a lot of pressure on the clubs, puts a lot of pressure on the players who really haven't got into a rhythm yet and are not at probably a fitness level yet to be sustaining 3 games a week. So, a challenge for sure. I've learned a lot as a head coach in this period about some processes that maybe we do differently. I think we did a good job of rotating players in this period, and with the exception probably of the first 30 minutes against North Carolina, I feel that the rotations have benefited us short term and long term. So. No, it is coming. Yeah, I hear that every day. People say it's hot, but it's going to be nothing. It's going to be in a few weeks. So, yeah, we need to use that to our advantage in the coming weeks. It needs to be. We want this place to be a cauldron. It needs to be very, very challenging for teams to come here. It needs to be very, very difficult. We need to be one step ahead of them before they set foot on the field. And we can use the weather to our advantage if we can play with intensity and urgency and don't slow the game down too much. Yeah, Barb. I mean, she's a creative player. 10. She's a flair player. She's a lot to learn, especially on the defensive side of the game. But she has got talent. She can change games with a little drop of the shoulder and a through ball or a shot or a cross. Good run from her. She's a player that we've looked at and thought that she can contribute on the attacking end of the field. And she proved that today. We see it all the time in training. She was a bit set back by a little injury she had, about a month or so ago. So. Yeah, she's a bright prospect. Still plenty of work for her to be done, especially at this level on a regular basis. But very happy with where she's at, and I think the goal represented some of her qualities. And I think when you've got a player like Sanchez on the field that can deliver balls like that, it's that's something that we've talked about this week. We've got to find other ways for us to be dangerous and dynamic, and definitely with the service that we have from Sanchez, from Caprice. And even Desiano, who came on, we can be a big threat. It can be another layer to our game where teams can be put under pressure. Yeah. I thought the second half, at that, we get the second goal and the game changes, and I think a little bit. It takes a little bit of steam out of them. It opens them up a little bit more. We've had players that started the first game today at this level, so we ran out of gas a little bit at times, but I thought we did an okay job of managing the game. It's not going to be perfect. It might not be perfect at the end of the season, but it will be closer to perfect than it is right now.
We'll take 2 questions on Zoom. Theo, go for it.
Hi Sam, you talked a lot, in the build up to this game about winning individual battles. 54 duels win tonight. How did that part of the game go for you?
Yeah, I think very good. I think second ball we were a bit slow in the first half, and we barked a few times from the sideline, and that woke the players a little bit. Yeah, I mean, look, I just spoke to the staff there. We're going to be pulling out all the highlights of those tackles and those headers and those 50-50 balls and the sliding challenges. We're going to be putting that on repeat for the next few weeks, because that's the secret sauce in this league, Theo. You need to have that. You need to have industry before you can have art, and I thought we did a really good job of doing that today.
If I'm being picky, 20 shots, 4 shots on goals, lots of good chances created, but 1 goal comes from a free kick, 1 goal comes from a penalty. Is no goals coming from open play something you're concerned about?
Not at the moment. No, I'm glad they're going in. We'll take them. You know, it's a long season with the Challenge Cup and with the league. We'll have at least 30 games in the league. So I'm just happy that they go in. I don't care if it comes off us. I don't care if it comes off them. The fact that they are going in is the most important thing. And I think when we get a chance to train a little bit more, when we start getting out of this schedule, which has been really difficult for all the teams, ours especially with so many injuries, we've had no opportunities to train. So, and obviously in that period, we've changed the system. So the players are basically operating a little bit on instinct in a new system that we've not had a lot of time to train. So I think as we get opportunities to train more and build relationships in training, then we'll see a little bit more clarity in it. And, you know, I'll be honest with you, I think we just look a bit rushed at the moment. We still look a bit rushed in the attacking third. The final pass, sometimes it's too early, sometimes it's too late, sometimes it's the wrong type of texture. But again, right, you can solve that on the training field. So we're looking forward to that. But we've got a big game in Seattle to go and win first. And if it's a penalty and a free kick or an own goal that wins the game, then we'll take it, and then we'll work on the other stuff later.
Cheers, Sam. Congrats on your first home win.
Thanks, Theo.
Thanks, Theo. Manuel, did you still have a question?
Yeah, quickly, Sam. I know you were mentioned on Barbara Olivieri. I know she has the player of the match for today. There was any other players that you saw that took noteworthy performance today?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of strong performances. Thought Katie Lynn did a brilliant job at the back. She dominated in the air physically, and she made good decisions throughout the game. So, you know, a really positive game for her. Yeah, lots of good things. I'm not going to pick any players out in particular. You know, Sanchez's deliveries, Donez's work rate. I thought Michelle Alozzi was really bright at times, and obviously earned the penalty. And you know, I think she probably could have got another penalty earlier in the first half, but she's a nice player. She stayed on her feet, and I think if she'd gone down, I think that's another penalty for us. So bright moments, progress for sure. A changed team again, so you can expect some relationships not be perfect.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you.